Okay, today we are talking about backstabbing a receptacle. So safety first, only qualified professionals should perform electrical work and be sure the power is turned off before performing electrical work. So here's the outlet we're going to be replacing today. The USB charge ports no longer work. You can see I verified the power is off. I'll push up on this little tab to remove the cover plate. This is a cheap Chinese-made aftermarket part. Poorly made, poorly designed in my professional opinion. This we're going to replace it with today, a standard 15 amp 120 volt receptacle. If you're going to use or install one of these outlets that have the USB charge ports, spend the extra few dollars and buy a Leviton or a well-known brand, not some aftermarket no-name brand. Now, this whole house, all the receptacles are backstabbed. And I'll show you what that looks like and how to do that here in this video. I professionally would recommend that when you replace an outlet, you don't backstab it. I personally and professionally believe that the screw terminals make for a much stronger connection than backstabbing a receptacle. So I'm verifying the power is off. This box has 2 black wires and 2 white wires coming into it. So you have a black and a white coming in for this receptacle, and then a black and a white leaving this box to power another receptacle. Yeah, one unique feature about this particular receptacle was going to cut the wires, but these actually have screws that hold the wires in place even though they're backstabbed. So you can see they quickly and easily can be removed. And every receptacle manufacturer is a little bit different. Again, whites are your neutrals, blacks are your hot, and then that bare copper wire is ground. So the light colored screws are your neutral, the darker brass colored screws are for your hot. Of course, green ground. There's a loop bending hole on your wire crimper stripper tools to bend your loops. So I'd always recommend doing that instead of backstabbing a receptacle, because again, you get more surface area being contacted with the wire under that screw head, and you can tighten that screw down really well. If you are going to backstab a receptacle, you want to make sure that you strip the insulation to the proper length. If the insulation is not stripped enough, then the wire won't fully engage inside the receptacle. You see the holes here? That's where you backstab the wires or push in the wires. Again, your hot wires on the brass colored side, your white neutral wires on the light silver colored side. And if you don't strip the wires, again, long enough, they won't be firmly held in to those holes when you push them in. Or if you strip too much insulation off, then you'll have exposed bare wire sticking out the back of the outlet, which is also not safe. Now, these screws don't do anything as far as holding the wires firmly in place on this outlet, but as a best practice, I like to screw the screws all the way down. So now we need to backstab our 2 neutral wires. Another way to remember it, the neutral is the larger slot on the receptacle, and the hot is the shorter slot on the receptacle. And the ground is a little center hole or mouse house shape. So again, you always want to do a tug test like this to be sure that those wires fully engaged. You don't want them to come loose inside the box. And as a best practice, we're going to wrap some electrical tape around the screw terminals. again, just make sure you strip the proper amount of insulation off the wires before inserting them. Do your tug test. And go ahead and tuck this outlet back in. These little spacers go on the back of this particular outlet because the box is inset inside the wall a little bit too far. So the spacers just bring the outlet out so it can sit flush on the drywall. It's another little pro tip for you there. If your outlet is sunken in too deep, you can make or buy those spacers to properly space the outlet where it needs to be. And the other thing to remember when you backstab an outlet, a lot of times the manufacturers of these type of outlets only allow for 14 gauge solid copper wire, not 12 gauge solid copper wire. Go ahead and reinstall our cover plate now. Then we'll turn the power back on and check to verify that the outlet is working. So here again, I'll use my non-contact voltage tester. And you can see we are live now. Please like, share, subscribe, leave me a comment, and thanks for watching.